How you want to start this?
So this is like a off-season
Sure.
episode.
Sure. You want to be starting something?
Want to be starting something.
Got to be starting something.
Got to be starting something.
Get up and get under. Stuck in the middle. I'm actually really excited to hear all about TPF.
Texas
Pinball Farm.
Festival.
Did you see any farms?
So it was much less farm-like than you might have imagined.
Was it a giant parking lot like Schaumburg?
So basically, yes. It's very flat, obviously. This part of Frisco, Texas, where it's 30 minutes from Dallas. Everything's new and corporate, and this is like the hotel district. So it's kind of similar vibes, but there's more vegetation. It's a little nicer place to be, I guess.
Interesting.
You know, it's had some like modern attention paid to aesthetics and design and streets and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Kind of easy to get around and stuff.
So overall, Frisco convention vibes better than Schaumburg.
Yeah, if you take everything else out of the equation, like the cities that they're in and getting there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just like if you had to stay within the convention area.
I think I like the Texas Pinball Festival Convention Center a little better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like splitting hairs, but it's not quite as big.
Right.
It's a little nicer, just a little nicer.
Yeah.
Newer, maybe more updated. It felt a little more modern, I guess. The bulk of the thing happens in a large open room, similar to Chicago Expo.
Right.
But around that, there's like a hallway that encircles the entire thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was lined with more vendors and pinball machines.
It's kind of like an arena or something.
Yeah, so even if the main thing was closed or hadn't opened yet, there was a bunch of pinball machines just encircling it.
Cool.
They were all on free play.
Cool.
Part of the thing.
So Rob Burke's personal hall didn't make an appearance?
No. So, Rob Burke's room full of, 80 games or whatever. Yeah, that did not exist. But there was at least 25 or 30 games just encircling the main convention area.
All on free play?
All on free play. There was a variety of eras, and they tended to play pretty good.
Overall, similar?
Yeah, overall similar.
Huh.
Speaking of which, I ran into Rob Burke. He just started talking out of the blue. He's like, "You like this game?"
And at TPF?
Yeah, he was at TPF.
So he was playing other people's games.
We were standing by ABBA, and just random dude just was like, "Hey, you like it?" And then I look at him, and his name tag says Rob Burke, and I recognize his voice. And I'm like, "Oh, you're Rob Burke." And he's like, yeah,
I am Rob Burke.
That's exactly what he sounds like. Anyway, he was like, when am I going to be on your podcast?
Wait, did that really happen?
Yeah. I got his contact.
Wait, do you want to call him?
No, not right now.
So here's a question. TPF, Texas Pinball Festival, not farm, compared to Expo, Pinball Expo.
Yeah.
Did the games play worse?
Overall, I'd have to say yes.
So like you roll up to a game...
Yeah.
The chances of it playing not as good are higher.
Slightly.
At Texas Pinball Farm.
Slightly higher.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's because there's more, people's games that they're bringing in to get admission.
So you bring a game and then you can get in. Gotcha.
Yeah, so there was a 10% chance that the game was going to just kind of have a problem. Like a flipper being weak or a ball being stuck or something like that.
And these are the games around the perimeter.
Yeah, and there's also just open areas full of pinball machines.
Wow. Okay.
Just like rows and rows of machines that people brought. Some of them are for sale.
Do they just like bring a game, just like roll up, drop it anywhere? Is that?
I think they have like designated rows.
Yeah. And
then if you get a booth, you can obviously put whatever you want in there.
Right.
But yeah, it was way better than the situation was at PinFest.
Ooh, so...
For comparison, for like a rankings.
Expo 1.
Yeah.
TPF 2.
Yeah.
PinFest 3.
But the difference between TPF and PinFest was big. Like PinFest, it was very disproportionately old EMs and stuff. And if you're walking down any row of games, you're smelling burning coils. Like, I'm just going around like flipping machines off because I can tell that they're like about to catch on fire. That was not the situation.
Gotcha.
In Texas. Like, they, for the most part, played well. Pinfest, it felt like people were bringing their worst games to get in for free. And in Texas, it feels like they were trying to actually show off their cool games.
Cool.
So there was a lot of like heavily modded games. There's a Bram Stoker's Dracula there that was like the most decked out.
Dude, I saw it because I was just like, oh my God, like that's Hopper. Everything about it was like the powder coating on the body, like on the metal.
On the apron, it had like Dracula cut out of metal and then like backlit red. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if you could tell from what you saw, but there was a generator hooked up to it with 2 air hoses.
Yes.
On either side.
Yes.
And it like, I couldn't figure out if it was timed specifically with the game, but it would spray you with air just periodically throughout the game.
To scare you.
Like strong.
Scare you.
Like blow your hair back kind of thing. Yeah.
That's what we need, man. More games should have that. You know, create like a more immersive experience and make it more challenging, right? Like
it was super cool. The only thing lacking was I didn't see any fog coming out of it during Mist Multi-Ball.
Yeah, there you go. That would have been like the kicker.
I have seen people do that though.
Amazing.
Yeah, that game was pretty rad. Like, it made me want to get another one real bad.
Dracula. I miss you. Love never dies. I miss the music, man.
Dude, that game ruined me.
The video mode that you shoot the werewolves, amazing.
Yeah, the only, I would say, like, the play field on that game is just kind of like typical. There's nothing special really about the play field.
I can't.
It's fine.
You know, I can't. I have no knocks against that game. Not even a little figure that comes in the casket.
It's like a Barry O game. He started off making games in the 70s, and he never really lost that 70s sort of vibe, plus a ramp or two.
We need that game back, for sure.
We'll get it back.
Going back to Pinfest, right?
Yeah.
Talking about people bringing their worst games.
Right.
I don't know why. It kind of reminded me of, for the state fair.
Yeah.
The day you can bring your canned goods. you get in for free.
Like, I mean, Pinfest has state fair vibes. I was going to actually say that.
That's in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Right? People that don't know about it, okay. So yeah, you've gone to Pinfest, Expo, and then Texas Pinball Festival in that order.
Yep.
I've only been to Expo, so I feel like now I've been ruined.
You kind of have been. I mean, yeah, Pinfest.
Empty out your pantries, get those old cans that haven't expired like 20 years ago, get them for free.
Bring the largest pumpkin that you grew that year. Chicago Expo is still king overall. It's just bigger. There's more people there, more vendors there. Like, Stern was at TPF, but it was kind of like an afterthought. They were like sharing space with Marco.
Sure.
I saw a couple people from Stern there. I think George Gomez was there, but...
Wait, the GOAT was there?
Yeah, they had like a little autograph booth or like signing thing, and I think he was one of the people on that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see him wandering around. But yeah, I mean, there was a handful of people there, but at Chicago Expo, everybody's there. Yeah. And Rob Burke's like rare game arcade thing is a big draw, you know?
Sure.
If I could only go to one.
Sure.
But why not go to both if you can? Or just go to whichever one is closer to you and easier to get to, because they're both great.
So, okay. Yeah.
But I think Pinfest more appeals to like the local people. I think last time we, saw some family at the same time. And in that context, It's great.
I guess going back to Texas Pinball Farm.
Yep.
AKA Texas Pinball. I'm just going to keep calling it farm because when I think of Texas, I think of farms and cowboys and beef. You know what I mean? Well, I was going to say, I got to see your debut as... a tournament commentator / announcer with Jamie Burchell from Wormhole Pinball and Joel
Engelberth from
Triple
Drain, Flipping Out Pinball, etc.
I was watching it with Sarah and we were like, wow, man, he's like you're like a natural, man. I'm not even trying to gas you up, you know. I'm not trying to glaze you.
I'm cutting this out.
Don't cut it. I'm not trying to glaze you, man. I'm serious. Like, you looked great, man. Like, you were confident. You knew what you were talking about. You know the first thing I thought about?
What?
We definitely have to be, well, at least, not me. I'll be on the sidelines, but I'm going to watch you comment on the Pinball Olympics.
There's so many more qualified people.
Well, now I know that you were at that caliber. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. You know,
seriously.
In real life, I don't know rules to these games the way that some of these guys do.
No one does. They pretend they do.
It's hard to learn. Like, if you just try to read the rules to a game,
it's a lot of games too.
It's hard to do it. You have to have kind of the context of playing it and see it in action to remember that stuff. At least I do.
Well, I imagine like tournament players that have been playing for like 20 years would be the most qualified because they know all these games and whatever. But I forget games all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
How many Diet Cokes did Jamie have?
When I got there, this was at like 8 o'clock is when it started. He was already on, I think, number 7.
Jeez.
And then Joel had gone to the 7-Eleven across the street and asked Jamie if he wanted anything. He brought him back a 2-liter of Diet Dr. Pepper. And so...
Wait, Diet Dr. Pepper?
I'm sorry, Diet Coke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the night, it was a lot.
Jamie, if you're listening to this, I will fully back you up if you want to get sponsored by Diet Coke. I'll help you, I don't know, whatever I can do.
And now for a word from our sponsor.
Hello. Gotham Corner Store? Yes, we seem to be down to our last Diet Coke. A gentleman is on his way to pick some up. Just look for a black car. No, this black car will be rather difficult to miss. And by the way, the gentleman is usually in quite a rush.
Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
And now, back to the show.
I wanted to talk a little bit about how to stay there effectively.
You mean like lodging?
Yes.
Oh, is it tricky, or is there some kind of...
I was pretty late booking this, as usual, and the cheapest hotel was the Holiday Inn Express at Legacy Park. That's what it was called. And it's
man, that sounds... it already sounds bad.
It was a 0.7 mile walk, but it's just like a straight line. You can see one building from the other,
Okay.
So it's like a 13-minute walk.
Not bad.
It's like, all right, that's fine. I don't have to get a car. But there's several other hotels that are closer, and you wouldn't have to walk quite as much. In total, we ended up walking 20-something miles the time that we were there.
Wow. Over the course of the weekend? Or?
Yeah, total.
You guys being you and your brother.
Me and my brother.
Hacker J.
Yeah, it was like averaging 5 miles a day plus.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Like, I always feel good when I have to walk a lot. And there's no rush really or anything, so it's not stressful. This hotel was about 40 or 50% cheaper than the next closest one. Several of them are like basically across the street. And I think the cost of the hotel, like the Embassy Suites where it is only like $170 or $180 a night or something like that.
Wow, that's not bad.
So it's not that expensive to even just book the actual location of it. But you have to just do it early.
Yeah, do it at a time, yep.
And so the place I got was like $110 a night, and it was like under renovation. She was like, "Oh, which floor do you want to be on?" I was like, "I don't know. Which floor should I be on?"
Wait, you got to pick one?
Yeah, I was like, "This is weird." I was like, "Well, is there a great view from the top?" She was like, "No, it's a parking lot." I was like, "Right."
Oh,
so
man.
She just said you should be on the first floor because you don't deal with the elevator, etc. But they were like renovating the whole first floor. Our room smelled like paint. And there was like paint dust in all the corners, like they never finished vacuuming it out and stuff.
Dude.
It was kind of nice. It was like all brand new stuff. We might have been the first people to stay in that room since they updated it, but they just didn't clean up very well. I don't know if it's discounted because of the renovations and that's why it was cheaper, or if it's just because it's crappier.
What makes it Express? Holiday Inn
I don't know.
Express.
I don't know. They have a pool. They have a lobby. Actually, on the first floor, the ceiling height was like 12 feet. So it felt like a big room.
Interesting.
The staff was all nice. They had a church service on Sunday.
They had a church service? Oh, it's Texas. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, there was a continental breakfast, which we went to on Sunday morning. And we heard, like,
Dude.
double doors from the breakfast area, church music, like modern, like Hillsong there.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, are there people singing in there? And it's like, no, but they're like piping in some other Texas local church.
Oh, it's like a quote unquote live feed.
Yeah.
From like
and they
another
have like a
service.
little seating area where you can just like watch church.
You did have Texas toast for breakfast, right?
No, they just served regular toast everywhere.
Don't they have Texas toast everywhere in Texas? I mean,
No,
what?
it's a myth.
That's what I saw on Reddit, actually.
Oh, really?
I follow this like bread subreddit. And apparently like Texas.
Subreddit.
So yeah, subreddit. It must have been a lie then, I guess. Fake news.
Anyway, so obviously there was a lot of like pinball people staying at the hotel. And so we just were like leaving our room, and there was like a couple pinball guys who had just come in who seemed like they were, late 40s, early 50s. They're wearing their pinball gear and they're talking about pinball to the receptionist girl. Okay. And he's got a Jaws shooter rod in his hand, and he's like gesturing to this girl, and then he's like, she's feeling his shooter rod. He's like, just feel it, put your hands on it.
Whoa.
And I was like, whoa, this is like really hardcore.
What was her face like?
She was just like laughing and smiling. I was just like, wow.
Do you think she had any idea what?
I mean, it was just so blatant.
What the heck? Like,
it was pretty hilarious. I was cracking up.
Did it have like the spring and everything like attached to it, or just?
No, it was just a
straight up rod.
It was like the shaft and the
with like
handle.
the rubber tip. Good Lord.
Feel my shooter rod. She's like, ooh.
Weird. That's so weird.
It was the weirdest way to hit on somebody that I've ever seen.
God.
It seemed to all be in good fun.
Holiday Inn Express.
She willingly felt the rod.
At the Holiday Inn Express?
At the Holiday Inn Express.
If you could present a pinball part to a staff member at a hotel lobby or checking into a hotel room or something, what would be your pinball part that you would show?
I don't want to say the obvious thing.
What's the obvious thing?
Balls.
Oh, just like three
like a
pinballs.
Pocket full of balls.
A pocket full of balls.
Yeah.
Which actually, those are cool because they're like steel, shiny.
Right. Yeah. You could have like three of them in your hand and do the little
some kind of
swirly relaxation fidget thing.
I was thinking like plastics. You know what I mean?
Check out my plastics.
Yeah, check out my plastics. Look at this cool parrot from this game called Black Rose.
It pulled a like 16-inch long parrot
yeah, look,
out of your pocket.
This is pinball.
I'm like, what are you talking?
What are you talking out of here?
I think you're insane. Yeah, I mean, what could you bring that would actually make anyone think of pinball other than pinballs and maybe the shooter rod?
Maybe a shooter rod. There is no one definitive part, right?
That guy must just carry that shooter rod around with him all the time.
In his pocket.
He's always got a shooter rod in his pocket. It's like his go-to.
Was it like a short shooter rod?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was like maybe...
Like the little ones, like the shorter one.
No.
It's like a medium size.
It seemed like it was 6 to 8 inches.
So he probably does carry it in his pocket often.
Yeah.
Mr. Shooter Rod, I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing there. How many cowboy hats did you see? Airport included?
Very few.
Okay.
I don't even remember seeing any.
How many Whataburgers did you see?
So we did go to a Whataburger.
Did you have Whataburger?
Yes. Well, not a burger.
You didn't have a burger? A Whataburger? Don't tell me you had like a chicken sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Did you have the chicken tender sandwich?
No, it was like a spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay. What did Hacker Jay think about Whataburger?
I think we both thought Whataburger was just fine.
It was just like fine.
It's like
just standard.
It's like elevated McDonald's.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, you're about to get some hate right now, dude.
Dude, it's not that great. Also, In-N-Out's not that great.
Shots fired, dude. Shots fired.
Now, I would rank...
I don't think I want to do this podcast anymore.
Whataburger as better than In-N-Out.
Dude, I definitely don't want to do this podcast anymore. I don't want to be associated. I don't want to be affiliated. The views of Matt do not necessarily align with the views of Don right now.
I mean, so Cookout is significantly better than any of those. Not even close.
I can't agree with you, man.
Yeah, well, you haven't had Cookout enough.
It's a different thing for me. I cannot compare them.
Cookout is a East Coast chain.
I would say it's like a Southern treasure.
But I think people who don't know about Cookout are missing out because that's the best fast food.
People out west, I've heard, know about Cookout as a rumor, right? Through online social media stuff. Like Joe Biden came to North Carolina, he stopped at Cookout, and like all these famous people come by and they'll have a Cookout tray. Honestly, it is sometimes an underrated and underappreciated gem because we have easy access to it.
Yeah.
But, like a buddy of mine, Cole, remember we hung out with him in Charlotte?
Yeah, drummer.
Yeah, we used to live in Florida, right? So we went on tour and we came through North Carolina and I forced him to get Cookout. And we had Cookout 3 days in a row. Okay.
Yeah.
They opened one up in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
He was living in Nashville at the time. He was so stoked that I think he waited in line and was texting me saying he was like basically ready to have his first Cookout tray in Nashville. But it is incredible. I'm not going to lie to you. But for me, it's two different things, man. For me, it's like a California burger versus like a Southern burger. It's the same as like a Mexican taco versus like a Taco Bell taco. You can't compare them.
I mean, they serve the same function.
But Whataburger's trash.
No, Whataburger is fine. Actually, I would go to Whataburger over most fast food places. It's just like when you compare it to Cookout, it doesn't, It's also not as good as like Shake Shack.
Whataburger's fine. I agree with you.
The shake was just like a McDonald's shake. The fries were like soggy McDonald's fries. The good thing about it, which makes it worth going there maybe, is that they're open 24 hours. And also they let you put like random toppings on your burgers. I actually quite enjoyed my spicy chicken sandwich, but that's mostly because I put like jalapenos and barbecue sauce and grilled onions and like all these random things you can add.
There you go. So you basically Frankensteined your chicken sandwich.
Yeah, and it was good.
So not Whataburger's recipe.
I don't know what people actually like at Whataburger. Like Hacker Jay's burger just looked like a Whopper or something,
Yeah, when I lived in Florida, there was a local Whataburger close to me, and I would eat it all the time, and that's why I'm somewhat familiar with it. But yeah, it was fine. You're right.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
They have like the same logo as Wonder Woman and Weezer for some reason.
And now for a word from our sponsor.
Hello, I'm Young MC with a story to tell. I just got a free cup from Taco Bell. NMTV makes the whole thing fun. Buy a giant-sized Pepsi and you'll get one. 4 cups in all, so don't stand still. And if you have an empty cup, you get a free refill. Go to Taco Bell and you see it's true. They got these 4 cups there just for you. Taco Bell only has them for a limited time. That's why I'm coming to you with a limited rhyme. To get these cups, you gotta place your order. So take my advice, you better run for the border.
And now, back to the show.
So they did have some new games. One was Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead. I forgot about that game. Are we ever going to get one here locally?
I don't know because Boxcar hasn't gotten the last couple spooky games.
I haven't seen them, yeah.
And prior to that, whenever there was a tournament, they wouldn't play any of the spooky games because they were so unlikely to work correctly. I suspect they may have just stopped carrying spooky games, unfortunately.
Well, did you get to play it?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds...
I played it maybe more than any other game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, are you like a spooky fan now? Are you Team Spooky?
Kind of, yeah. Like,
'cause I'm Team Spooky. I've been Team Spooky.
I will let you get this game, Don.
Oh man, okay, that's great, dude. That's positive.
I'm not gonna be throwing shade like I do with Halloween.
So it must flow better.
Much better.
Cool.
It feels like another evolution for spooky.
That's great, man.
So it's a wide body. I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, Evil Dead was really surprising.
Cool. I mean, honestly, man, my opinion, right? And I've seen it happening with Looney Tunes, aka Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like all they were missing for me to like fully get behind was the flowy, kind of fun, like just playability of the playfield, the overall interaction of the ball and the shots. And like it feels like they're slowly going in that direction.
Yeah, so this wasn't as like weird of a playfield as Texas Chainsaw or Looney Tunes. Like that one's got some really different kind of like ball paths and stuff. Evil Dead is more normal of a layout, I would say.
Cool.
There's nothing like, mind-blowing in terms of the where the shots go or the returns are or anything like that. But it does shoot well. There's a whole lot of stuff to shoot at. There's a third flipper, like above the main flipper. It's like a mini flipper.
I did see it in the trailer, yep.
Yeah, and you can use it to shoot almost anything on the left side of the playfield, but mainly like there's these targets that are moving back and forth with a hand. You want to hit all the drop targets, and there's a hand behind it that you can hit. You can hit all that stuff from the main flipper too. It's just more of like a tip of the flipper shot.
Sure.
So it's, I don't know, it's a little gimmicky, I guess, but it's cool. It's kind of fun. It's a separate button though, obviously.
The flipper is a separate button.
Yeah, because otherwise it's too close to the regular flipper that it would just get in the way all the time.
Sure.
Actually, the game just felt over the top in a lot of ways.
In a good way.
Yeah, it has a lower play field too, and it was cool, but it was also like, if it didn't have that lower play field, I don't think anybody would be complaining because it had so much stuff in it.
See, that's why I like Spooky, man, because they ain't scared, you know what I mean?
But I'm glad they went down with the play field instead of up, because that feels like a better, reliability wise. But yeah, it has like a mini flipper and a full-size ball in the lower play field.
What about the audio?
So, it's hard to hear it in there, but I could hear the call-outs occasionally, and it was funny.
Yeah, that was my hope.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was Bruce Campbell doing the voices and stuff.
It was actually him, or like actually from the movie?
I think it was new audio from him.
Cool.
Because he was saying stuff specifically about the game and pinball and stuff like that.
Amazing. I can't wait to play that.
It's got a little rocking chair in a house.
I remember.
And you shoot it back there, and the ball, it's like a ball lock, but that little chair rocks back and forth.
I remember.
It reminds me of the World Under Glass kind of stuff that we like.
Yep.
It just feels like the most cohesive, least clunky, best shooting spooky game. Even though it's a wide body, it didn't play floaty or anything like that.
Man, that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely like the standout. Like I probably had my most fun games the whole time probably playing Evil Dead.
I can't wait to play that game.
It feels like the perfect pinball theme. Like as much as I was kind of hating on it before because I'm tired of horror themes.
I knew it, man. I knew it right away because it's quirky.
Yeah, it's not overly serious like Texas Chainsaw.
Right.
It's gory, but like in a cartoonish way.
That movie is pinball.
Yeah, that movie is very pinball. And like playing it as a pinball machine feels completely right.
I bet that's a great horror theme. That's a great spooky theme, dude. Honestly, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
Like as a brand, right?
I think I heard them say while we were there that they already sold out.
I saw that.
Yeah.
On social media or something, I saw that they had like...
I don't know what the quantity was, but that's must have been a lot of machines. I don't even think they've sold out of Texas Chainsaw or Looney Tunes yet.
Amazing, man. Congrats, spooky team. I appreciate that you ain't scared, you know what I mean?
I hope you get to play one, but I don't know if we're going to have one locally, especially if they're sold out already.
I'll find one.
Yeah.
I will find one.
I'm sure somebody will get one, but if we'll have to seek it out.
I will find one. I mean,
hopefully it doesn't become one of these like extremely expensive games.
Right. Let me ask my mom.
So that was part 1 of our Texas Pinball Festival recap. In part 2, we'll talk about more new games, what else to do while you're in Texas, and some serious body horror. Ugh. Production on season 2 of the podcast is in full swing, so be ready for that by following us here on YouTube, on Instagram at Bash Pinball. Oh, and always remember,
I just got a free cup from Taco Bell.
Leave this territory now.